I'm here at the ģŠOɪʀ Botanical Garden. Let me show you around. Entrance into the gardens is free. You'll just have to stop at the entryway and let the person checking you in know how many people are in your party and if you're a resident. And if you are not a resident or it's your first time here, they will direct you on where to go to find the visitor center, but you really can't miss it because there's one road in and one road out. You can see the view behind me is spectacular. It's a sunny day in late May. There are quite a bit of people here, but still there is a lot of room to move around. I'm going to show you around the lake and then I'll drive down a bit and show you some more of the scenery. Let's go. So if you've seen some of my videos in the past, you'll know I'm mildly obsessed with plants, so this place is awesome. There are signs telling you what plant is what, and a lot of really cool ones, so perfect place. The ģŠOɪʀ Botanical Gardens is 400 acres of lush greenery. It was built in 1982 by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and it was meant to provide flood protection for Kaneohe. There are tropical plantings from all around the world here, grouped geographically, from places such as, of course, Hawaii, Polynesia, Africa, India and Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Melanesia, and more. I'm on my way to the lake right now. Here by the lake there are picnic tables and a huge grassy area, so it's a great spot for picnics. And you can also check out the koi fish in the lake. Let me show you. So as you can see on the sign, this is not a lake for swimming because there is leptospirosis. And if you watched my last video about Mahalo Falls, you know that's not something you want to come into contact with. So maybe save the swimming for the ocean and the lagoons. Alright, I've got just a little bit of time. I'm going to drive up the road a bit, show you another spot. There are multiple places to stop and get out and look around. It's so peaceful here. Do you hear the sound? I don't want to leave, but I gotta get going. Here at the garden, you can camp if you obtain a camping permit between the hours of 9 a.m. on Friday and 4 p.m. on Monday. They do close the gate at 4 p.m. every day, so if you are camping here, I don't think you'll be able to drive out past 4 p.m. until the next day after 9 a.m. I think you might be able to walk out, but it's not walking distance to any stores that I know of. Or at least, I don't think you can walk to any stores within 20 minutes from here. So if you do camp, you know, just bring all the stuff you need, hunker down, enjoy the views when you wake up. This place is beautiful, so I think it's worth camping even just for a night. The speed limit here is 15 miles per hour, and for good reason. You'll find a lot of pedestrians walking alongside the road, and the road itself is narrow and has a lot of twists and turns. I've reached the end of the road. Well, it's not technically the end of the road, but I've never seen this spot not have a barricade in front of it. So I don't know if they move that sometimes, but this is a great spot for photos. And if you are a photographer and you get a permit, you can take pictures here, which I have done, and it is a beautiful spot. I will show you in a minute, but I do see the sign behind me that says bikers and walkers must exit the main gate by 6:30. I don't know what happens if you try to walk out after. Now, to be honest, as a photographer, getting a permit to shoot here is a real hassle. You have to do it at least 3 weeks in advance. You have to call the botanical garden as well as the city. You have to go fill out a permit, pay a $20 a day fee. So that being said, if you are wanting to take really special photos like engagement or wedding or etc., it's worth it. Just make sure you do it with ample time. But if you're not paying a photographer, you can always take your own pictures without a permit. So there's that. And behind me is a pavilion you can use to have a picnic. Of course, no private parties, the sign said. Also, I forgot to mention the different spots where I stopped and parked all had restrooms, so you don't have to worry about that. And also there's one near the visitor center. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the view. And then behind me, you've got this awesome looking banyan tree. And these are trees you can find throughout the island of Oahu and probably on the other islands as well, but it's so cool. Really good tree for photos. It photographs so well. As a photographer, I can tell you this. When people are standing in front of it, you do close-ups. Only thing is some of them people graffiti on them, so carve into them, so I gotta edit it out, but still really cool looking tree. Okay, let me get some more footage of this view. It's kind of hard to capture on my phone. I'm gonna try my best. All right, it is about 3:40. They close the gate at 4. I do not want to get stuck in here, as beautiful as this place is, so I'm gonna get going. As always, I try to capture pretty good footage, but the camera's gonna never do the scenery as much justice as seeing it in person will. So if you come to Oahu, make sure to schedule in time in your itinerary to check out the Ho'omalohi'a Botanical Garden and enjoy. Aloha! I got it. So I don't know how much of that I caught, but there was a lady with a megaphone who was announcing that the park is closing and that everyone had to go. And also apparently there's no ball playing here allowed. The kids were playing with the ball, so she told them to put it away. But from the entrance to where I just was, which is the last parking lot that I was able to access, it takes about 10 minutes to drive. So if you're here until the last minute, you want to at least still give yourself 15 minutes to drive back. I don't know what happens if you're here past 4, but I don't want to find out. So I'm leaving.